Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, or good morning, or good evening, wherever in the world that you happen to be watching this from. My name is Ivan, and I run a successful digital business. And the thing about this business is you can run this business from anywhere in the world. It literally is a global business. But the amazing thing about it is, as part of that, I do these conversations with people literally all over the world. And I get to hear their stories and find out how things are working for them in their country, why they started, what was their reason, how it's all going. And because I'm generally quite nosy, and this is an amazing opportunity to do that. And as I say, I speak to people literally all over the world. We all do the same thing. We all help people start and run successful online businesses. And today I have the absolute honor of speaking to a lovely lady called Natalie, who is actually from the UK, but is moved to the sunshine island of Tenerife, where she is basically a digital nomad who runs a business, and she helps people just like me all over the world. And we're going to hear her story right now. Hello, hello, hello. How are you?
I'm good. Hello in England.
Amazing to have you here. Thank you so much.
No, thank you so much for taking the time to.
No, it's my absolute pleasure. Like I say, I'm just nosy. I just love to hear people's stories and what's going on and why you started and tell me all about things and stuff. So yeah, I love that. And but yeah, definitely thank you so much for your time today. How's it going today? I'm imagining it's a very warm day for you there, is it?
It is. It's I'm very lucky in Tenerife because it generally is really good weather all year round. Yeah. But we're starting to feel summer now. It's getting pretty hot, so it's lovely. I'm very lucky.
I'm not jealous in the slightest as I sit here in, I don't know, about 10 or 11 degrees. I've not looked at the temperature today, but it's not a great day. So, if we had an opportunity to get out there, we were allowed, then I probably would be joining you out there. So
yeah, well, you're more than welcome.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So yeah, I am dying to hear all about Natalie and your story. And, for the people that are watching, so can I just say for the people that are watching, please make sure that you grant StreamYard permission so that we can see your comments. Please say hello to us. Let us know you're watching. Okay, if you've got any questions, feel free to put them in the comments and we'll do our very best to answer them. This is live and we are broadcasting literally across Facebook and YouTube. So, wherever you're watching from, like I say, put a comment in and say hello. So, Natalie, let's get straight into it and tell people a little bit about you.
Okay. Well, like you said, I am from England. I'm from a small city in the northwest. I'm from Chester. But I did actually, before I moved over here, I did actually live and work in London.
Okay.
So yeah, a lot of my life was lived in London, working in London. But the decision to come and move abroad, basically my mum has actually lived abroad here for a while.
Okay.
And so I obviously didn't see much of her when I was in England, and I took the opportunity to come over here. This all kind of came part and parcel with the digital business change. Because there were many reasons why I chose to do it and many reasons why I left London to come to Tenerife. But just about me, I'm from Chester. I live in Spain now for the foreseeable, into fitness, digital business owner, always outside, love the beach, and loving life, basically.
Amazing. So had you been searching for a business when you found this one?
I'm going to be completely honest in the sense that I worked in commercial property when I worked in London. So the main hub of my job was actually working for people who were starting their own digital business. Right. And I actually remember walking along when I was going to work one day in London thinking, I don't think I could ever see myself being a digital business. I don't think I could ever see myself having my own business because I was working with so many techies and people who knew their stuff. I just didn't think it was possible. But basically, my career journey came to an end in London, and the opportunity was shown to me. So the answer is no. I wasn't looking for a digital business, I came across it, and I'm extremely glad that I did come across it. It was introduced to me by someone who's very successful and been doing really well. So I learned a lot about the business itself. I learned a lot about the success people were having. I did a lot of research. And so, yeah, it was more a really, really happy break for me to find this digital business, if I'm honest with you. And
no, I get it. I get it. So what was the primary reason for it, though? What were you trying to achieve from this business? What was the reason for starting?
So going back to my working in London, one of my biggest dreams was actually to climb the ladder in London, get to the top, get to where I wanted to be. Yeah. And I found that the higher that I climbed, the less of my life I owned.
Right.
So I worked for again, commercial property company. And I basically found myself working Monday to Sunday, 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. most days. If I wasn't in the office, I was on my computer at home. I found myself getting extremely anxious in life. I was struggling with mental health, physical health. I just wasn't looking after myself because all I did was work. I lost a lot of people around me, like friends, because obviously I couldn't see them. I didn't see my family. And I basically just lived and breathed work. And it was one day, actually, it was a Friday. And I got an email from someone, and I don't know what happened, Ivan, but something just snapped inside. It was like, this is me physically breaking. And I left that Friday and basically never went back. I stopped it. I had to get out, basically, because if we go to the extreme, I was pretty much killing myself with just constantly working for someone else and making sure that I was there. And yeah, I didn't know what to do except for leave. So I did, with nothing. And this is where
you realised it's good. I think, some people kind of just repeat that cycle, and that's when it gets really bad. So it's great that you realised that and figured out a way to make a change.
Yeah, and it had to happen. And I think, like you said, there's a lot of people still doing that in life, which I just feel for, because it's really hard.
Yeah.
And when I came out of it, I left London, moved back home to Chester for a while, and that's when I discovered the business. And that's when I kind of got introduced to it. And like I said, I was panicking. I didn't know what I was going to do. I genuinely didn't know what I was going to do. I walked out of this corporate job, left London.
Like, what now?
What am I going to do? My mum's in. I can't even go and cry to my mum because she's in Tenerife. So I went back, found the business, and made the decision to move abroad, and just never looked back.
That's amazing. No, I understand that. I do completely. I mean, I think you've touched on a good point now. We all need a plan B, don't we? I mean, even without the past 12 months or 14 months, 15 months, no one should be reliant on one thing. Mm-hmm. Nobody should be reliant on a single job or a single source of income. Mm-hmm. And I say that a lot because that's kind of one of the reasons that I started a business. And, clearly for you, you came out of one job. There wasn't an immediate plan B, but fortunately you found the plan B pretty quickly.
Definitely. And I think if I'd have had that, if I knew that was there, like you said, the plan B, it would have probably been a little bit less stressful for me. So you just said, advice to anyone, if you haven't got that plan B, get it there in place.
Exactly.
That turmoil to finding that plan B when I needed it the most, that was a really long time, or it felt a really long time.
Quite stressful, I imagine, as well. Yeah, slightly. I'm going to say hello to Ruby. Hi, Ruby. Good afternoon to you. Ruby's in the UK. So if anybody else is watching, we've got a number of people online. So please put some comments in, say hello to us, let us know where you're watching from. No, but so after you decided you were joining, how did you find kind of going through the process of kind of learning to work online? Was that an easy process for you, or not?
I can run a computer, but I'm certainly not tech savvy. So it was a little bit daunting going into it. But as soon as I kind of got inside it and got the training that was available, it's so easy to follow. It's so easy to kind of learn step by step by step, which I really needed because, like I said, it was emails and presentations that I was doing. It wasn't, digital business.
Yeah.
But I found it very easy. And also the support as well that I had from mentors and the community. If I did ever get stuck, there was always someone to ask, or there was always somewhere to go. Not that you'd really need it because it was simple in itself, but
exactly
having that buffer there to know that they are around.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And that is so reassuring, isn't it?
100%.
Absolutely is. Just going to say hello to Roxanne, who's watching from York, and we've got Leonie, who's watching from Calgary. Ooh. So amazing. But you're right, that support, that was one of the things that really attracted me to this business, was because I tried something on my own first. And if I had a question, it was kind of a mentorship program. It wasn't an all-inclusive thing like this is. But if I had a question, I had to send an email off, and then I had to wait, I don't know, a day, 2 days, 3 days, whatever it would take for them to send them a message back that may or may not have answered the question fully. Yeah. And it's just so much easier to do this, to have a conversation with somebody and say, look, I've got a question here. Explain this to me. How does that work? And, 2 minutes, you can do it in a conversation, but that's like, I don't know, a tree's worth of paper emails, isn't it, to get to the answer? It really is. And I love that fact. I love that, definitely.
100%.
Really do. Right, okay, so that's helpful. So what, do you get a lot of people, do people ask you, what do you do online? And if they do, what do you tell them? When people say to you, what is it you do online? Tell me.
Well, the first thing I would say is I help other people to start their own digital business, basically. I also then say it's so much information for me actually to explain it to you, to go through it all, because it would just take me forever. Yeah. But we have a free webinar, so it's available for anyone to watch. It's only 90 minutes. And so I just send them that. I send people to go and have a look at that, because like I said, I could not quantify it in general, because there's just so much information there. So I just tell people to visit my page, go and have a little look at the website, the webinar, website. And find out for themselves, because it's completely no cost. It
is absolutely. And what I say to people when they ask me is, it's an attraction marketing business, all right, but basically we provide you with everything that you need to be successful. Yeah, so websites, email marketing, product distribution, training, mentorship, it's all included. That's what makes it incredible, I think. Yeah. There's a lot of skepticism out there, isn't there, for people working online? And I know because there's so many opportunities that potentially present themselves out there, and ours is not get rich quick. And I'll say that again, this is not get rich quick, right? But a lot of people, go online and things promise a world, but as we know, deliver very little. But it creates skepticism. What do you tell people if they're engaging with you, they're interested in finding out more, or they're saying to you, I don't get this, I don't trust you? What do you say to those types of people?
Well, I'll start by telling you a little secret first. And that I'm a skeptic. Oh,
were you a skeptic? Right. Okay.
Not of this business and such. I'm just saying of everything that was going on, because I was lucky, and this is what I'd probably tell everyone to do. I could see the success that was coming because I knew someone who was already doing it. Yeah. So what I would say to anyone is, do your research, watch the webinar, listen to those who are actually doing what we're doing and the success that they're getting. Yeah. And they're real people. These are like just everyday people from all over the world. And then take the next step forward should they wish to, because then that's when they can actually speak to the community, get inside and find out what we're doing. As in, you can find out from the webinar, but you can actually become part of the community by taking that next step forward.
Yeah. And
because it's all about researching and finding out what everyone's doing, isn't it?
It is. And that's part of the reason we do this, really. Because I think when you work online, you can't be invisible. It just doesn't work. And the reason why I put my name and my face out there, and why you're doing exactly the same thing, is because this is a legitimate business opportunity. We would not be putting our names and faces out there. We'd be hidden. You know, we wouldn't be as visible as we are if this wasn't a legitimate opportunity. So that's the way I look at it as well.
Well, I completely agree. And we're always available to talk to people as well, which, I mean, I can't really speak for other businesses out there, but I just know that we're always available, and people can actually speak to us and find out what we're doing and watch us, like you're saying.
Exactly. And that's massive, I think. You know,
living it and doing it.
Exactly. You know, for the people that are watching now, you know, I mean, you know, if they had a question, if they wanted to ask us something live, they can pop it in your comments, and we'll do our best to answer it. Where else do you get that type of live interaction? You would only get that from people that genuinely are legitimate and open and out there in an honest situation, offering a legitimate opportunity. It's as simple as that, really.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Tell me about, you know, has it been a bed of roses working online then? Have you had any kind of challenges, you know, whether that's personally or business at all, that you've had to deal with?
Well, I'll try and keep it light, but yeah, I did have quite a bit of a challenge at the start because I was a very, very slow starter, because I don't know whether to explain to everyone, this business will always be in the background running for you. There is automation in place. Yep. So you can choose how fast or slow you go.
Yep.
And that was such a saving grace for me, because at the start of me starting the business, I had some really terrible stuff going on in my life. I lost my father, and there was lots of stuff going on. So I physically wasn't in the space to do it. But I had that reassurance that I still had a business, and it was still existing, and I could pick it up when I wanted to. And it's such an incredible thing to know that you can take it in your own speed if you do have things like that in your life. So that was a huge challenge for me, but it just spurred me forward to then want to kind of throw myself into it when I got into the room again, basically.
Yeah. And you're right, working on, I think that's because one of the questions I was going to ask you is kind of what makes our program different to everything else that's out there. And I think you kind of touched on it indirectly with what you just said, is the fact that it's, you know, it's majority, it's automated. So we have a system that works in the background, so that means that you don't have to. So when you've got other things going on, this is not a 24/7 business. You don't need to be operating 24/7. You don't need to be doing anything 24/7. The majority of the time, you can live your life as you normally do and just dip in and out of your business as and when appropriate. And that is such a tremendous, again, flexibility, relief, reassurance.
I mean, well, this is it. I mean, when that kind of happened, it was just like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And then it was like, hey, all right now. It's okay. Don't worry. Your business is there when you're ready. And obviously I was speaking to mentors, people in the community. It's like, you know, it's not going anywhere. It's your business, and it's still going for you. Yeah. And then, like you said, it's just kind of sharing experience with people out there to kind of let people know that it is an incredible business when you are available to.
Yeah, absolutely. That flexibility is massive. I mean, for me, you know, we love travel, so you know, I've literally bounced around the world, and I've been, you know, running my business from beaches, from planes, from hotel balconies, from wherever, you name it. I've run my business from it. But all that takes is something. All I need is that. That's all I need, and the rest happens. That's as difficult as it gets.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, you asking me what made me go into the business. Obviously, there was some negative things happen in London, but it was all about getting my freedom back, Ivan, because I spent so much time paying for everyone else's holidays and, you know, doing everything so that they could do what I'm now doing. It's getting the freedom back, getting my life back, getting my, you know, friendship circle. I mean, I obviously left London, but I've got, you know, I'm always, like you said, I'm constantly working on the beach. I go to the pool in the afternoons and I speak to people. I'm sending messages. I'm doing whatever. I'm training, and there's just.
I totally understand. How important do you think it is? Talk to me about mindset, because you know, I know how I feel about this, but how important do you think that having the right mindset is for people that actually want to run a successful business?
Well, I think the first thing that you kind of have to think about when you start your own digital business, or if you want to start your own digital business, it is your business. You're doing it for a reason. You're going into this to create a business, to create success for yourself. So really, you're in the driving seat. So if you haven't got the right mindset, and if you're not there wanting to show up, and I mean, obviously, like we said before, if circumstances come up, the business is there. It will automate for you. It will be there. Don't worry. But if you are not having any situations and you are there, show up. You know, you're there. It's for you. You're starting a business for yourself. So you need to have the right mindset. You need to have the focus and the drive really to take your business forward.
Yeah, no, absolutely right. Absolutely right. So what are you working towards then? So kind of fast forward, I don't know, 12 months, 18 months, you know, what's the end of the rainbow for you?
Oh my goodness. Well, I constantly want to keep building, you know, people with me in the business.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of have a really great life at the moment. It's quite hard to say, but I mean,
I get,
financial freedom obviously is one thing that kind of I look towards, or I certainly look towards. It's difficult to say.
No stress, and just being comfortable and content, and just not having to worry about money, right? And not having to worry about having to rearrange your life around somebody else's schedule. Those are really quite priceless things, I think. Definitely. Because, you know, because we all, in some way or shape or form, our lives are kind of regimented. You know, we live to a clock, somebody's clock, whether it's our own or somebody else's. When you take that away, that's massive. That
ability. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go.
That ability, like you were saying before, Globe guys, to actually be able to say, right, I'm going to go there this weekend and not have to think. You know, you haven't got to, I mean, obviously you've got the work situation. You can work anywhere in the world, so you're not thinking about that. But just being able to comfortably live life and
no, you're right. It's massive. It is absolutely massive.
When we're allowed to.
Yes, when we're allowed to, yes, which is happening very soon. I absolutely believe that. You know, thank you, Harmesh. So I don't know where Harmesh is watching from. Might be India or somewhere potentially, but yes, thank you very much. But yeah, so this all starts, doesn't it, with a workshop?
It does.
It all starts with a workshop. You've mentioned it right at the start. You've watched that. I watched it. So you know, why should people spend time to register and watch the workshop?
Again, it has to come down to their choice if they really want to be a digital business owner. But if they do want to, they should watch it, because they will find out what's going on, what we're doing. They'll get to meet people as well, who are living and breathing the business. It will explain the structure more. It will just give the information that we as people wouldn't do justice if we tried to explain everything, basically.
Yeah.
And Irene. Hi, Irene.
Hi, Irene. Woo!
and get to work with our incredible community as well. That's why they should, because everyone is so supportive and so wonderful and doing so well.
I know, no, absolutely are. You know, and so we've got Irene on, obviously. Now we've got Bethan on, who's watching. So hi, Bethan. All right, and yes, Irene, she's a little bit late, but she did make it. We'll forgive you. It's okay. But yeah, no, the workshop's incredible, and I get the honour of co-presenting.
Oh yes,
the workshop. And I'm actually co-presenting tonight as well. So, but the beauty of that for me is I get to see and hear the testimonials, because it's kind of a workshop of two halves, isn't it? The first half we talk about what the opportunity is and why you should be thinking about working online and how you can join us. But the second half is we then bring people on to basically just share their experience of running the business.
Yeah.
To tell us what it's been like for them, to tell us how much they're earning, what the business is doing for them. Yes. And you know what? I never cease to be inspired, amazed by these people's stories, because they've taken time out of their day to join these workshops live and just share their stories, and they're incredible. And that's why I love the workshop, and that's why people should register and watch it, because it's worth it.
100%. And like I said before, and I'll keep on saying it, in every element, is that we're real. It's real life, everyday people like out there. You know, no one's a tech whiz, no one's a digital business connoisseur, entrepreneur. You know, we're just regular people who have the tools. We have the tools to become successful business people because we have actually joined, and it's just watch it.
Oh, you're right. Right, absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I think so. Mark's asking a question. So Mark's asking if you could send him a link to his webinar. So sure. What I was going to say, Mark, is just Natalie. What is your website address?
It's www.nataliemckerrigan.com. I can put it in the chat, but I'll more than happily. I Mark's someone who follows me, so I will absolutely.
Yeah. So Mark, just go to Natalie's website and put your name and email address in, and she'll email you some information. It's as easy as that.
There's a little link on my Facebook page.
Absolutely. So, any final words of wisdom for people watching, Natalie? What would you like to leave them with today? Any final words of wisdom about working online and why they should think about working online?
I think firstly, and I don't mean to take it back to being serious again, but I think the first thing I will say is if you really are unhappy in anything, in work and what have you, you really do have to look after yourself, your mental health, your physical health. You need to do what's right. And if change is scaring you, then be brave, because if you do take the leap and watch the webinar and come into the digital space, it will really just free you up from that kind of stress that you could be living in. So please don't keep hurting yourself. If you're having a bad time, make a change. And then secondly, I just guess I'm living proof. I'm someone who came from this rat race, this 7 to 11 p.m. I'm in the sunshine. I'm going to go to the beach after I've been speaking to Ivan. And just live in the dream. Watch the webinar, find the opportunity, because it really is life-changing. It really is life-changing.
Yeah, there's quite simply, if anyone's been thinking about starting to work online, but didn't know where to start or was curious about it, this is where you start. This is where you get your questions answered by registering and watching the workshop. It is that easy. It's 90 minutes of your time, but it's 90 minutes that could change your life. It's as simple as that, because the opportunity that we present to you on that workshop potentially is something that you will not want to let pass you by. And it is as simple as that, really, and plus you get to work with awesome people like us.
Obviously.
So I mean, does it get any better than that? But no,
I think it bodes well that 85,000 people have also taken this opportunity and it's changed their lives. So we're just growing and growing, Ivan, and it's just incredible.
It is so true. It is so true. Natalie, how amazing. Thank you so much for your time. That has been fantastic. It really has. But yes, and to everybody else watching, thank you for watching. All right. And we'll see you on the next episode of Business Talk with Ivan. Natalie's going to go and grab a sunbed now and grab another hour, another hour or two of sunshine before it goes. Unfortunately, I can't say the same here in Manchester, but not today.
I'm sending you some sunshine, and thank you so much, Ivan. I've really enjoyed chatting to you.
It's been amazing. Thank you so very much. Honestly, enjoy the rest of your day, and to everybody watching, thank you, and I'll see you next week. All right, cheers. See you later.